You have a younger sister, Apurvi,
I do.
who is such a pride of the country as well.
Yes, she
And
is.
did you guys grow up together in the same school, or did you have different schooling? What, because you all are such different personalities with such
Yeah.
distinct careers. So how did that take a different trajectory?
So, Apurvi and I are polar opposites. I
Right.
am North Pole, she's South Pole.
Okay.
I'm winter, she's summer. It's like there if
Two
if
different
a if
natures.
a stranger had to meet the two of us, they'd be like, what exactly is in common between the two of them? And yet there is so much in common between the two of us. I'm the extrovert, she's the introvert, but she is the real star of the family. I mean, her career picked up when she was in school. When she was 16, she started shooting.
Okay.
And how she stumbled upon shooting, I feel like you should actually have her on your
Right.
podcast
Yes.
to really get to know her better. But to just give you a small summary of it,
Right.
when she started off as a shooter, she was only 15, 16, and she picked up 10 meters air rifle shooting. And she was a complete natural at it. Complete natural at it.
In one
When Abhinav Bindra won at the Olympics,
Right.
that year, I think a day after he won, on the same day, I can't now remember, but it was my mother's birthday.
Okay.
And she comes from a sports background. Everyone in her family has played basketball from national to international to only the one time India ever represented in the basketball team of India was ever playing at the Olympics.
Right.
One of my cousin Nanas was playing there.
Oh wow.
So she comes from a hardcore sports family.
Right.
And she always wanted one of us to go. But it always seemed like it would be me because I was very good at athletics and swimming and hurdles and long distance running, cross country races. So she always thought it would be me. And then Abhinav Bindra won, and it was her birthday. We all stepped out for a family dinner, and on the television, his interview was coming. And instead of paying attention on her own birthday dinner, she was more interested in that interview. And as he started speaking, as he started talking about himself, my mother very quickly realized that, you know what? His nature and Apurvi's nature are very similar. The next day, she took her to the SMS stadium. She gave her a pistol and a rifle in her hand. And I don't remember what her first shot was, but from a rifle, I think the first was a 7 or a 8, which is amazing if you've picked up a rifle for the first time in your life.
Wow.
So then her journey kind of began, and she became who she became. She's been a world number one. She's represented India twice at the Olympics, at the Tokyo Olympics and the Rio Olympics. She has won Commonwealth gold, where I was there in Glasgow. The best moment of my life.
It was remarkable.
It was the best moment of my life to have witnessed her win there. Multiple medals, yeah, like she Arjuna awardee. Like I can't even, like, where do I start and where do I end? You know, Apurvi's career is such. She's a chota packet bada dhamaka. That's what she is.
Wow. But I'm sure she has a lot of inspiration from you. And to see
Yeah.
your career take this amazing journey of its own, what was that moment for you when you realized that this is my calling? You know, while growing up, like you said, you're an athlete, but
Yeah.
when did baking really happen for you in that moment? What was that moment for you?
So to go into that, you need to know a little bit about me first, as my nature as a person. I am a go-getter. I always knew deep down as a child that, you know what, whatever I do with my life, I will make it big.
Amazing.
That thought was always in my head. I may not have expressed it to my friends because you know how your friends are at that age. They tend to, pull your leg and joke about it. But I always knew that whatever I do, I will make it big. But Apurvi's career took off first. And I remember, as a mother, you're always trying to balance out between your two children. And for my mother, she was always worried whether I'm going to go into any kind of complexes growing up. When one sister is a champion and the other one does not know where life is going to take her. But between Apurvi and I, there was never a sense of jealousy. Like, never. There was no internal competition. Like, I was always super happy for her. If she makes the bucks in life, great. I'll travel business class with her money. And if I make it big in life, then she can travel. So it was one of those. And then, slowly, when I realized that I was not very good at academia.
Okay.
Okay, and because academics was not one of my strong suits in life, I was always appreciated for the little things I ever made at home, even if it's 5 versions of Maggie, or or like a little, a little tea cake that I've baked. Anything small that I did in the kitchen was always appreciated. And as a child, when you're appreciated for something, you start believing that you're good at it. And that's how I feel like cooking kind of came into my life.
How old were you at this time?
I think, it used to be when I was in my boarding school, but I used to come back for my holidays. So I would say I must have been, what, 12, 13? And having said that, my father comes from the F&B industry. He's a restaurateur. He has been in the hospitality and the tourism industry for a very long time.
Right.
So he spent majority of his life in France.
Okay.
And he worked in different restaurants there. Growing up, I think I rarely used to get to see my father because he was always traveling to France.
Right.
But whenever he would come back, he would make, on every Sunday, it was like a ritual that he would make something for me and my sister. Both of us would sit on the slab, the kitchen slab, and he would zhuzh up like a banana flambe. And just to see, bananas going up in flames or a dash of rum going into something as a kid was like, oh, are we adulting
And
that
see
we
your
get to
father
eat that?
create such things in the
Exactly. And in India, you don't usually see, a father in the kitchen.
kitchen. Right.
And I did have the privilege of seeing that growing up. And I feel like that world just seemed very magical at that time as a kid. And then came Nigella.
Wow.
Then on TLC, Nigella Lawson came, and I was like, whoa, what is a pavlova? What is an eaten mess? In growing up in Jaipur or even in Ajmer, we used to only get, the only access we had to pastry was via bakeries.
Correct.
And it was the same pineapple, classic pineapple cake, black forest cake with the cherries and the chocolate truffle, and it was the same. And that buttercream you knew was made with some heavy, hardcore dalda. You know, that grease would not exit your body for days.
True.
But that was all that we knew.
Right.
So I feel like, slowly, as
Your experiences just
my
took you
experiences
forward.
through television, through watching TV shows became even stronger. And then in college, I ended up doing business management from Royal Holloway University of London.
Okay.
And I was so happy that I'm going to London because guess who else is from London? Nigella Lawson. Which meant I could go into these beautiful grocery stores from my Vaishali Nagar Sham Bakery grocery store to like Tesco, Sainsbury, and Waitrose and pick up like meringue and strawberries that I could make a necklace out of and roam around, And instead of actually studying business management, I actually spent most of my time cooking for my hungry Desi friends.
Right. Okay.
And, it kind of
So you
all
always
came together.
attached to the kitchen no
I
matter
was.
what, and you found your way around it always to pick on something new
Yeah.
and to like take it from there actually
Yeah.
all the time. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and if you guys truly did, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Grow with Anushri and Grow with Anushri Clips.